Hello everyone, for my argument project, I'm going to talk to you about sports stadiums. But not just any stadiums, I'm going to talk about the big stadiums, like the ones that host professional sporting events and are located in major cities across the nation. So, the specific topic for my argument revolving around stadiums is stadium subsidies. And a subsidy is a sum of money granted by the government or a public body to assist an industry or business so that the price of a commodity or service may remain low or competitive. In other words, it is basically a loan or investment into something. So, a stadium subsidy is when a city gives the owner of a professional team money to build their team's sports stadium in that city. However, in many cases, these professional teams are owned by very wealthy individuals who are capable of funding their own team stadiums to be built and paid for its upkeep. In recent years, this problem has grown in debate, and after reviewing a lot of this discussion, it leads me to my claim that, despite the capability of owners to pay for their own team stadium, many teams rely on cities to pay for them through tax dollars, putting cities under lots of financial stress. Stadium subsidies have had disastrous effects on cities' economies. The problem starts with the city's legislation and their willingness to let sports teams bully them into coughing up money taken from taxpayers for their stadiums. Since the year 2000, over $3.2 billion has been taken from taxpayers for these stadiums. For example, last year, the city of Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers Major League Baseball team, agreed to pay $500 million for the cost of their hometown team's new $1.1 billion stadium. Of course, this is exciting for the fan base of the Texas Rangers, but for someone who is just trying to make a living in Arlington and is maybe not interested in baseball, this is not somewhere they would want to see their high taxes going towards. On the opposing side, owners claim that stadiums bring a number of working benefits for the city, boosting the city's economy and popularity. The millionaire owner and chairman of the Major League Baseball team Tampa Bay Rays, Melanie Lenz, expresses a view that the reason cities pay for stadiums is because the stadium creates a, quote, community asset. Although the presence of a professional sports team in a stadium might boost a city's popularity and notability, looking at the issue from a more financial standpoint, we see that stadiums create few jobs for people working in cities. Its 100 or so jobs created are heavily outweighed by the massive increase in taxes for people living in cities to pay for the stadium. Stadiums also put local businesses around the stadium out of business, which cuts jobs around the area. The cause of this is because during events in the stadium, especially on weekends when most of the U.S. goes out to get a drink or shop, the traffic around the stadium is so severe that people just avoid these areas of the city that are heavily congested. As a result of these facts, it just goes to show the irony in the claim by Lenz. Stadiums are just a bad deal for cities in general. The outrageous costs of some new stadiums are leaving cities with even more financial debt and ruin than ever before. The Oakland Coliseum, built back in 1994, is still being paid off by the city of Oakland, California. When the bill is finally paid off in 2025, it will have cost the city over $350 million. Meanwhile, the city of Oakland has some of the worst roads in the country, and on top of that, the Oakland Public School District is cutting over 340 jobs before the beginning of the 2019 to 2020 school year due to a shortage of city funding. Think of all the places that $350 million could have been spent by Oakland over the course of those 31 years from 1994 to 2025. Even after stadiums are built and fully paid for, they can continue to hurt city budgets for a variety of different reasons. For example, in 2016, when the city of San Francisco hosted Super Bowl 50, the city paid to reroute cars and minibuses, to fund police overtime for security, and for sanitation workers to clean up everything. In total, the city spent approximately $9.6 million on just this one event. After laying down all the facts, we are left to wonder why cities haven't just refused to give these teams millions of dollars. I believe that one of the reasons why is because if cities refuse to give them the money they ask for, the teams threaten to leave and relocate to another city that is willing to spit out the money. So the only way to fix this problem is if everyone says no to these teams stealing subsidies from cities. That way owners will be forced to pay for their own team's facilities out of their own pocket. In closing, there's no reason why a city shouldn't want a sports franchise. Everyone loves a hometown team. But it should not be a risk to the city's financial security. They have the legislative power to control their own budget, not the other way around. and I think it is time for the cities to realize that. Thank you.